This is your 2021 Toyota Corolla, and this is the key for it. It is the base L trim and a little over $19,000. Still gets you a lot of cool stuff. It's a bit of a unicorn car for a media fleet. It's rare that manufacturers give us a base model, but here we are. But with the L trim, you still get LED headlights. You don't get fog lights. Turn signals are halogen, and yes, they're usually on in my video, but because the key is in my pocket as opposed to being on or in the vehicle, that's why we don't have them on right now. 15-inch Steelies with plastic hubcaps. Gotta love the old school stuff. No side turn signals, or sorry, no turn signals integrated in the side mirror. Doesn't matter. Body colored handles. I love it. Usually you can tell a base model a mile away with the black plastic door handles. So good job there, Toyota. Quick look around the rear. LED taillights. So yeah, I know it's base, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna open the trunk up by pushing the trunk button. Oops. Sorry, my hand turned and so did the camera. 371 liters of cargo space in here. Not the highest in class, but it's still very functional, and you can see the seats do go down 60/40. I don't mind it. I would drive this. To me, it's more about function over fashion. And once we get inside and once we get driving, you'll see that there's a decent amount of equipment here with the base L trim. Quick look in the rear of the Corolla. Usually this is an Irk, but because it's a base model, it doesn't matter. There is no armrest that comes down, therefore there are no cup holders in the armrest because there is no armrest. No cup holders in the doors either. Doesn't really matter, but you get power windows, so that's something. A big perk for me is the way the Corolla has its winter floor mats. Usually it's an individual piece, and that part's open, but you can see Toyota has gone with the two pieces which are connected right through there. And if for whatever reason you want to get rid of these, just lift up those two snaps and they come out in two pieces. And the benefit here is that you don't get nearly as many salt and dirt and mud stains as you would had this only been one single piece and one single piece there. All right, let's take a look up front. I will explain why the steering wheel is sideways in a moment, but let's quickly run through the seats. I think the seats are very comfortable in the base model Corolla. Side bolster's really, really big. Thigh bolster's a little flimsy, but again, it's a sub $20,000 vehicle. The seats are respectively comfortable considering what it is. You got your power windows and power mirrors, not a bad deal there. That little line lights up at night, letting you know where the driver's side window is. And overall, I'll give you a quick side look. It's modern. It's not bad, as much as people may think any base model vehicle is. All right, so the wheel is sideways, and I don't like it when it's off-centered, but I want to show you why. I'm just going to quickly switch hands here. So I'm going to start the car, and I'll show you why the wheel's sideways in a sec. So old school, foot on the clutch. Where's my foot? There it is, foot on the clutch. And you start it up, and to get it out, it's like the old school way. Basically, you do that, do it like that, and then you push in a touch, and then that's how the key comes out. Anyway, so we'll do that again. Start the car up. So the problem when the wheel is straight and centered is you can't see the ignition. And you don't want to be fumbling around and getting all sorts of chew marks right there, because just no one sees it, but I think it just decreases the value of the car, and it looks bad when there's all sorts of key marks and chew marks right in there. So whenever I park the car, I just do a quick 90-degree turn to the right. I guess you could do it to the left, but it's easier to the right. And that's how you get your key in without getting chew marks and not fidgeting and fudging and guessing around. Okay, let's take a look at the dashboard. Standard stuff, digital on the right side and two analogs on the left side. RPMs right there. Get your red line at 6 and almost a half. Again, base model vehicle, everything is functional, everything is as it should be. And if you're wondering what that is, oops, let me hand out of the way. What that is, that's your lane departure warning. We'll get into more of that on the driving portion itself. Standard steering wheel for the Corolla. You get basically you get what you need. You got your volume controls. That cycles through the menu on that side of the screen for the digital side. You got your cruise control, track listings, and different audio modes. And again, lane departure warning is activated there. Same thing with your forward collision. 7-inch screen here, but if you bump up to the SE, which is the next trim up in manual, this comes to an 8-inch screen. A bit of an Irk, I don't know why they just wouldn't make it all 8-inch screen to save the money. Don't have to worry about using different parts. But As far as the screen goes, it's touchscreen. You can change the colors. I think there's 4 of them. And the benefit here for the big perk for me is it's not only touchscreen, but you got your hard touch buttons and a couple of dials. Here's a quirk for me. Usually with the temperature, it doesn't say cool or hot. There's just a number, and it's usually from like 15 to 30 or 32 degrees, depending on the vehicle. But here's what Toyota's done. They've gone cool and hot. If you're driving the car long term, you'll get used to it and figure out what your ideal spot is. But that's a bit of a quirk there. But aside from that, hard touch buttons, couple of dials, that's your fan speed. And really nice and easy to understand overall. So taking a quick look down, there's a bit of storage. Nothing here, a couple of blanks, and your traction control on and off. Here's the gear lever for your, get that in focus, 6-speed manual. Shift's okay to get it in reverse. Basically, you're gonna take the ring, lift it up, all the way to the left, all the way up. Backup camera, because it's mandated by law in Canada. It's not great, but you're not gonna get the highest resolution on a base model vehicle. So some beats none. Good old school classic handbrake here, which is, I like it. Not that I'm gonna do like E-turns or E-brakes or anything, but it's still nice to have. 2 cup holders here. You got one on the door on the passenger side, one on the door on the driver's side. This isn't me being messy. This is just showing you where the USB plugs in for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is standard fare. A bit of a quirk. So that's a perk that they have it right up here. It's a bit of an irk that it's not kind of tucked away here, because if it was tucked away here, I could just wrap the whole wire here and everything sits there, but now it just kind of dangles out. Anyways, not the worst thing at all. Old school rear view mirror where you get your day mode and your night mode. I think it's really sharp. I like it quite a bit. And here is your mirror, no light, because again, it's a base model vehicle. Let's do the drive in the 2021 Toyota Corolla L. Under the hood, it is a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine, 139 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. If you want a little more power and a manual transmission with the Corolla, bump up a trim level to the SE, and that gets you 30 more horsepower for 169, a little more torque, and it's again through a 2-liter engine versus the 1.8 that we have here. Price difference is a little over $3,000, but you get some extra bells and whistles with the SE that you don't get here in the L. For example, here there is no heated steering wheel or no heated seats, and some of the other amenities are missing, but no matter, because it's the base model, and this is more catered towards the functional side of things as opposed to the fashion, so to speak. I know amenities aren't fashion, but you know what I mean. Driving dynamics, pretty good. It's easy to drive, it's easy to park. As far as your turning radius goes, it's 2.5 turns lock to lock, so definitely good for some tighter spaces in the city, or if you're in an underground parking lot, or just like a regular parking lot, or anywhere where you need to be a little more precise with your maneuvering. Corolla does it very well. Regarding shifting, on the plus side, on the perk side, the shifts are fairly accurate and precise. A bit of an irk for me. Half quirk, half irk. The bite point for the clutch is higher than almost any other vehicle that I've been in. So for example, if the bite point on most new cars are here, and that's where you kind of do your flips, on the Corolla L it's more here. So it kind of threw me for a loop for the first couple hours I had the vehicle, but it's just muscle memory. And once you figure out where the bite point is here, it's easy, and there's no danger of being too slow on getting on the highway. Simply just drop it down a gear, boost your revs up, and you're fine. Now there's no rev matching here, but there is rev matching on the 2.0 liter SE. And again, that's another piece of the price increase, a little over $3,000. The driving dynamics itself, pretty good for a base model. And blown out, they fixed that. It handles as well as it can for a compact sedan. It's not the best in class, but I don't think Toyota is going for best in class here. What Toyota is known for is reliability. I'm willing to bet a small sum of money that if you're watching this video, you have either driven a Corolla You have been a passenger in a Corolla. You know somebody with a Corolla. You still know somebody with a Corolla. You went to high school with somebody who either had or parents had a Corolla. It's just one of those vehicles that you always see, and I'm sure you've seen more than your fair share of beige Corollas, and that's kind of the ongoing joke, but beige isn't offered anymore. But the fact that I'm seeing Corollas from 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago still on the road in really good condition in Canada's 6th biggest city, it's a testament to the longevity that Toyota has with their vehicles. Now, let's quickly jump into the safety side of things, because you get Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, and for a vehicle that's under $20,000, as of today, the 17th of January, it was $19,350, freight, taxes, fees, all that kind of stuff on top, but MSRP, $19,350. You're getting in, sorry, again, you're getting the Toyota Safety Sense, and that gets you your lane departure alert, your automatic high beams, automatic cruise control, your pre-collision system, pedestrian detection, cyclist detection. You don't get blind spot monitoring or a few other things, but for what you do get for a base trim, it's incredibly impressive. And you know, tilt and telescopic steering, I know it's not a safety feature, but it's still something that adds on to the allure of a base model vehicle. Height adjustable seat, again, pretty impressive here. Let's quickly jump into the fuel consumption side. So on a 50-liter tank of 87 octane, 8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. Blended total comes out to 7.1. I'm about 400 kilometers in. The car's got to go back today, so there's another 50 kilometers. I'm at 7.8. I've driven by myself, the whole pandemic thing, but I've spent a lot of time on city streets in traffic. So that's why it's higher than what the average is. I know it's 8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city. It's been mostly city, a little bit of highway. So I'd say the split is like 80% city and 20% highway. As far as who would buy this vehicle, I feel this is catered to either the new driver or somebody a little later in life who doesn't want all the fancy gadgets, and they just want to enjoy the drive, and they want to connect with the vehicle, and they want to roll their own gears. This is my hand tapping the shifter. I know you can't see it, but I don't know if you can hear it. Anyway, that's where it is. But you still do get some modern features. In addition to the standard safety 3 Toyota Safety Sense, you get a 7-inch touchscreen, and you can choose your colors with it, which is pretty impressive. And it's a decent resolution. So just because it's a base model vehicle, Toyota hasn't stripped it down bare. Yeah, there's 50-inch steel wheels, no big deal. But where you spend all of your time, which is the inside of the vehicle, it's comfortable. The seats are extremely comfortable for what the vehicle is. You get modern technology plus all the safety features. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Pretty well equipped for sub $20,000. I think that's going to wrap it up for the 2021 Corolla L. If you've got any questions on the vehicle, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Really strong value proposition here from Toyota, and I hope I see a few more of these L's on the road. Again, if you've got any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Be well, be healthy, be safe, and I will see you in the next review.